Hello and welcome to episode number 36 of Comment Chaos Live with me, Christian Rauchenwald, the live stream where we take a look at the YouTube comments that I received to hopefully provide you with answers to questions you might have. I hope you are more awake than I am. As mentioned yesterday, or I think I shared it, that I had a poker evening and therefore I got home late and still lacking some sleep. But here I am to make sure that you get your fix of daily content. Now, as usual, the usual disclaimer applies. Everything that I share in this live stream / video, depending if you're watching it now, if you're watching it later, is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. Now, before we get started, just going to have a sip of my coffee and then, we can jump right into the comments. Yeah, I really need that today. Anyway, so with that, I'm going to push the button and we're going to jump into Agora Pulse, the tool that I'm using or that we are using to manage our social media comments. And you can use it too if you need to. It's linked in the description down below. Okay, first comment from Cameron McElwee on a Trav Monetizer payout. Just discovered this app. It's actually paying. I have problems with Honeygain. That's why I have more faith in Trav Monetizer. I don't have any problems with Honeygain, and nobody in our Discord community has problems with Honeygain. So if you have problems with Honeygain, you might want to just, jump on our Discord server and ask or share your problems. So maybe we have a solution, or reach out to Honeygain support. Like, Honeygain is literally I think it was even the first bandwidth sharing app that I found. It's probably one that's on the market the longest and has the best track record. So definitely worth checking out or making sure that it works. So reliable payouts, payout in crypto, no minimum payout value when you pay out in crypto and so on. So Honeygain definitely worth making work. So next comment, what is the value of Alpha Network? The value is listed on the Alpha Network exchange. However, it doesn't mean that you can sell for that price. So currently the value listed would be 76 cents per Alpha coin in questions, in quotation marks, exchange in quotation marks. So if you want to sell, you can go there, click sign in, follow the instructions that are here clearly visible. Go to sell, enter how much you sell, and then start waiting for, a week, a month, half a year, or longer, depending on how much you want to sell. Because the clear problem that Alpha Network has is that there are 146,000 sell orders and 1,199 buy orders only. Even if there are 1,000, it's like 1.199 thousand, so 1,199. And that number here just increases so slowly, which means there's so many people that want to sell and so few people that are willing to buy, especially at those insane random prices, which means it goes very slow. The good news is, however, that the in quotes exchange actually works if you are able to sell. So if you have the patience and there are over time some buyers that buy your coins, you are actually able to withdraw the USDT. So I already made a payout proof video about that. That definitely works, and I've withdrawn myself like a couple of times. All I have to say, the first few months after the in quotes exchange launched, the selling went a little bit faster. It still took weeks, but it worked better. And now lately it's just barely moving at all. So like you might not be able, you can list your coins and it might take a year or longer depending on how many coins you have to sell them. Really comes down to if the Alpha Network project can convince people that it's worth buying the coin, because for some weird reason it might be worth more in the future. To be fair, that in quotes exchange, it's like, it's just, if it wouldn't work, so if you couldn't withdraw, I would just say it's like a sign of a scam, because the price is completely random. If we have 146,000 sell orders and only 1,000 buy orders, then the price would need to be 0.00000000001 or something in that area, simply because there's so much more supply and only so little demand. But the Alpha Network in quotes exchange just uses random prices. Oh, that's very, very nice of you. Unfortunately, I'm already married, but I love you too. So it's always nice to have some positive vibes in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a great day. So Alpha Network exchange, that's where you see the price, and the theoretical price would be 76 cents right now. Alpha Network. The token selling price is too slow and the withdrawal option takes too long to take place. Not sure what's going on. Anyone facing this issue? Yeah, the token, we just covered it. The token selling price, I think you mean the token selling speed, because the price is not too slow, or because it's actually too high compared to supply and demand. But the speed is very slow because of supply and demand, and the withdrawals are actually relatively fast. They only take a couple of days, which for projects like this is fairly okay. I mean, assuming that you have, or that you wait long enough to actually sell enough to make the withdrawals worth it, because they obviously have a gas fee also. And yeah, so blah, blah, blah. Pi Network lockup. How can I change my lockup till 2024? Well, if you already migrated your coins, then you cannot change the lockup. So if they're already in your wallet, I might actually share my screen for that. Just have to fire up Let's View. And Let's View, where are you? There is it here and on my phone. Let's View. There we go. There we go. Magic button. There we go. Well, you're gonna do it. Come on, you can do it. Yep, there we go. And yep, now move that over here and Pi browser, and then here push the magic iPhone button. Yeah, so in your Pi browser, if you go to wallet.pi and unlock either with your passphrase or your Face ID, then you can see in migrations the migrations that happen. So if your coins are already migrated here and they show some date, like mine says the 19th of May 2025, you cannot change that. You just have to wait, or I will just have to wait till the 19th of May 2025. And then I will have a move button here after that time, and then can press move and it will move into my available balance. Yeah. However, once you have your first migration, you can update your lockup settings for future migrations. So if you locked things up for 1 year, which seems likely since you have here 2024, once you have the first migration in the, can also fire that up, Pi Network, Pi, yeah, and then in the mainnet, configure lockup rate, then you can adjust your lockup rate for future migrations. So as you see, mine is set 90% for 3 years. And however, if I update this then to 20%, 25% for 3 years, or disable it completely and save those changes, then the next migration that will happen, I don't know, in the next couple of weeks or months, depending on when the core team gets to it, probably more months, because after the initial migration, it will likely happen when more people have passed KYC and so on, will then use those new lockup settings. Yeah. However, what's important to consider is that mining boost. Yeah, so while it, for example, says plus 537% for the 90% 3-year lockup, and I've already migrated 2,000 coins. If I now set it to 50%, which says plus 298, yeah, and let's say next migration would be 4,000 coins, then I wouldn't have that almost 600% boost anymore, but it would then calculate, okay, the 537 plus the 298 divided by 2, roughly, or in that case then divided by 4, because the second migration was twice as big as the first migration and so on. Yeah. So if you play with that around, it will then mean with the second migration, if you reduce your lockup rate, your mining boost will also be reduced. Yeah. So okay, that I think answers that. Yeah. Blah blah blah. So what do we have here? The term is when mainnet, when fundamental liquidity and very valuable viral people will flock to buy the Pi coin, aka buy the movement. That's the magic of Pi Network crypto. I disagree. I really disagree with that, because the one reason why people will or would flock to buy Pi is use cases. If I can use those Pi coins for something specific, yeah, just because there's millions of people holding them, especially if millions of people got them for free, is no reason whatsoever to and because they're fundamental liquidity, because there's a lot of them, is no reason for anyone to say, yay, I'm gonna throw my money at this. Yeah, it's like use cases, it's what it comes down to. And that is also the reason why we have enclosed mainnet, and why the two goals from the side of the core team to even open the open mainnet are: one, a lot of people have to have passed KYZ. Maybe they aim for, I don't know, 75% KYZ or maybe 90% before they consider that step fulfilled. And two, that there are use cases. Yeah. And so, for example, I've made a couple of payment proof videos to show you guys that there are businesses and individuals out there that already accept Pi for payment for goods and services. And while that's a use case, it's not a great use case, because I could pay them with US dollars, I could pay them with fiat, any other fiat currency, I could pay them with Bitcoin, I could pay them with any other cryptocurrency. So Pi is not special in that regard, yeah, because that's not a special use case, because you can pay at those places with other cryptocurrencies and fiat as well, yeah. So what it needs is some kind of app, platform, I don't know, theoretically could be a social media site. So I shared it last time. If you watch the Social Network movie about how Facebook was started, it started out as a exclusive social network only for, I don't know, people from either Harvard or the MIT, yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's why people then got on it. And then in the next university, they also wanted to have that because it's so cool. So maybe something like this, if it were a social media network where you can only participate if you hold Pi and your wallet is linked, and where maybe because Pi requires KYZ, you can sign up anonymously because you already have a KYZ account. So to ensure that there are no bots on the social media network, everyone needs a KYZ Pi network account, for example, yeah. And maybe if you hold more Pi or so, you have access to specific features, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you can stake your Pi to increase the reach of your posts or something like that. So that would be a unique use case. I'm not saying that that would be the great use case that will make Pi a success, yeah, but that would be something where then if that platform, if you have 10 friends and 9 of them are using that platform, and say they don't use TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, or whatever anymore, they are only using that new Pi social thing, yeah, then you would also want to join because all your friends are there. So if we have a critical mass of people, that could be a potential use case. That then automatically means that people that right now are not using Pi network would then be, okay, I'm also gonna get some Pi coins, so I can also jump on that social media platform that now all my friends are on, or it's so cool because of this and that, yeah. Obviously there's an endless idea of other use cases, which, by the way, you can browse, sharing the phone again, which you can browse in the Pi Brainstorm app. So if you go to brainstorm.pi in the Pi browser, and there then you can basically browse through the list of ideas, and ideally you should also vote on those that you like and downvote those that you think are complete garbage, yeah. And yeah, so that will be what makes Pi different, which is also the reason why I'm fairly confident that we will not have an open mainnet in 2023, because so far, while there are some use cases and some apps in development, there is, in my opinion, not a single one out there that makes Pi so unique and is so well developed that it would attract the big masses to give Pi a good use case, yeah. Anyway, moving on. New sub, thank you. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for subbing. Replied to yesterday. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So in case you like, I'm gonna share the video, but I'll copy clean link. So if you haven't, you can check out Upland. And Upland is like an NFT game. I can actually show you guys, huh? So real quick. It's Upland. There we go. It's really nothing special, to be honest. Yeah. So, but when you sign up, you get like, I don't know, 5,000 UPX, which is the in-app currency, which also is a cryptocurrency, to buy properties. Yeah. And then basically you have to buy your first property. So like, for example, this one here. Okay, that one you cannot buy. We need a green. Green was the one for sale. Yeah. Okay, that one's listed for US dollars and not for UPX. Also US dollars. So this one here, yeah. So now that one is too expensive because when you sign up, you only have like 3,500 or 5,000 UPX. So it's important that when you sign up, that you have the choice between three cities to start in, and then that you pick the one that shows you the cheapest properties, and then you find one or two properties that you can buy already, and then you have collections. Where are the collections? Here we have collections, yeah. So you see I didn't bother completing a lot of them, but if we scroll down, there should actually be some that I've completed if I recall it correctly. Staten Islander that I completed, which was like having 3 properties in Staten Island, but I don't have it anymore. Bakersfielder, yeah. So basically, there are then collections that you complete, and when you complete a collection, you again get UPX as a bonus, which allows you to buy more property. And each property generates rent for you, which you then can collect every a couple of hours, every day. And then whatever property you buy, if you bought it for whatever 3,000, I usually list things again for like 40% more for what the listing price was, and then you just wait for it to sell, and then you have a little bit more money, and then you look for the next cheap property that you can find. So I usually always buy the cheapest property available, add 40% to the price, wait for it to sell, and then once it's sold, I again buy the cheapest property that I can find. And yeah, and then eventually you can go through KYC and then link your PayPal account, and then you can actually post properties for US dollars. You can say like we say this one where it says available on web, that's only listed for US dollars. That's why you cannot buy it in the app. You can buy it only on the website. And yeah, it's like a waiting game. Yeah, I started out with like very little, and as you see now I'm at 92 properties and like 869,000 UPX. Theoretically, in the app, 1 UPX would be 1 cent, so that would be like $800 theoretical value, yeah. But I'm still collecting, and yeah, so whatever. But yeah, so yeah, and the comment was about the guy that yesterday made the same mistake that I did, because I initially, when I signed up, I made the mistake of like picking the wrong city, so I ended up in a city where I couldn't afford anything, yeah. And the only solution for me then was to basically close my account and open a new account, which you are only allowed to have 1 account. So if you have 2 accounts, you might get banned. So it's really, if that happens to you and you have to abandon your account, you never ever are allowed to log into the second account or the first account anymore. Otherwise, you risk getting banned on both. And yeah, so and that guy basically ended up making the same mistake. But luckily, then found a property to buy. It's like really, I don't know. I don't. To be fair, so like it's something that doesn't take a lot of effort, and so you just basically initially look for a property, buy it, and then you wait for getting an email notification that it's and listed for sale, that it tells you, hey, it was sold, and maybe once a week you log in and check and collect your or actually once per day you log in and you claim your daily reward, which gives you Spark, which is something else in the game, which is I'm not going to explain that right now, and collect your interest, and then whenever you can, you buy more property. And who knows, maybe over time they will attract a bigger player base or so, and you can then, supply and demand. The more players, the higher priced each property should get. They're also opening new cities from time to time. So you see when we zoom out here on the, so switching to the iPhone again, so you actually see here. So when we zoom out here, you can see in the map of the US that there are a bunch of cities, but not every small village. So it's not that like everywhere you could buy. And I think they also added Europe. Yep. So there's also now something in Europe or in the UK here. And there, what was there? Portugal. Yeah. So those are the first in European cities. I don't think there's Asia already, but maybe there is. I'm not sure. There's also something down there, which probably is, I'm very bad in geography, but might be Dubai or something. That's, Qatar. Okay, Qatar. But yeah, so, and nothing in Asia yet. So they add new cities, blah, blah, blah. And with that, they kind of like balance supply and demand a little bit. But eventually, if the game stays popular, there will be like more demand for those properties. Each property is technically an NFT. And I mean, it's one of those apps that, again, it's like once per day, and maybe in the long run it pays off, and if not, then, well, what did you lose? Yeah. Anyway, chat. There we go. Not chat. Desktop. Hi, Akashi. Great to have you here. What is this? I love you. You know, we'll send this guy a wink. Yeah, you're just jealous that there are other people loving me as well. Yeah. Or not jealous. Like, jealous. Yeah. Like, so. Yeah. But don't worry. Soonish, we're gonna have our me time, no, one-on-one time again, because what is it now, 3 days before the Diablo launch, and we're gonna play on Friday. And on Saturday, however, I have another poker evening. So Saturday there will be no stream, at least not in the evening. Yeah, grande proyecto. So probably great project. Yeah, Alpha Network. I mean, yeah, like that's really like it's really like a love-hate relationship, because the whole project is just such a garbage in quotes, yeah. But they do some things very well. So to launch that exchange in quotes that allows people to sell, to develop the mobile games, which supposedly, what was it, 40% of the revenue of the mobile games is used to buy back tokens from the exchange, which sounds like a lot, 40%, but in absolute values, according to their own numbers, they earn up to $5 per 1,000 ad views. And if you say an ad view is 30 seconds or whatever, like, so it's like really ridiculously hourly rates. But yeah, still they're doing something to bring value to the project. We'll see how it turns out in the long run. And yeah, so happy I clicked on notifications. I promise starting June 4th, I will have scheduled a viewing plan to catch up with your former videos, and most importantly, to follow your common sense encouragement to help me get on the right profit track. I'm a fan. Thank you for your live podcast. Comment cares. Yeah, like, thank you for the feedback. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm still not sure how the whole series is perceived by everyone. I mean, it's like your way to ask me questions. I mean, to get answers to the comments, but at the same time, you guys can ask the questions that I didn't answer in the videos in the chat, and I will always then address them at the end of the stream. And for me, it's a way to make sure that I actually answer all the comments. Yeah, so that because after the stream, then I type out the written answer. If it's something longer, I just link back to the episode for people to watch. And yeah, so I'm glad people like it. We'll see how that format develops in the future. And yeah, so thanks for the positive feedback. As for watching the old episodes, not sure you have to, because I mean, very often we have repetitive questions anyway. Yeah, but again, really grateful that you enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah, Pi Network to the moon. Yeah, yeah, indeed, Pi Network to the moon. Yeah, but again, we already talked about it. In order for Pi Network to go to the moon, we need use cases. Yeah, and they're like really everyone. So like, you guys might recall on Pi Day, Pi made an announcement that ended. I made a video about it. The summary of the announcement, it ended with a part that was like what you can do for Pi. Yeah. And so, for example, what am I doing for Pi? I'm producing content that answers questions, that tells people what are the next steps. Like, okay, hey, here you have to deal with your lockup. Hey, and don't forget KYZ. And hey, that's what you have to do if you cannot start your KYZ application and so on. So I'm doing that to make sure, I mean, first of all, obviously to make a little bit of money from YouTube videos, but also to make sure that people that are involved in Pi Network actually stay up to date and do everything so that they can eventually use their Pi coins. Yeah. And then, I don't know, then there are other people out there that as a business accept Pi as payment. So they support Pi Network by actually giving it a value, by actually saying, hey, you can buy my game, my, I don't know, headset, my whatever for that and that amount of Pi. And then there are other people out there that are developers that are actually okay, that are working on apps. Like, I don't know, there's a webinar app where you can upload your webinars and make them paid, so that people, if they want to watch your video or webinar, they would have then to pay whatever amount you say in Pi coins to get access to it. Yeah. And so the big question would be like, what can every one of you do for the project? I mean, obviously you can invite your friends. Yeah. So you can tell them, hey, there's this app. If you install it, you press a button once per day and pass KYC. It may or may not someday be worth a lot. Yeah. But even if it's not worth a lot, you really don't lose anything. You lose a few seconds of your time. That would be helping the project because you help spread the word. Yeah. Don't try to convince people. If somebody is skeptical or whatever, then just let it be for a while. And then you can say, hey, you remember that project that I told you about where I can push the button once a day? I just saw those two videos from the guy that actually already is a little bit further in the project, and just use those coins that he got for pressing a button once per day to buy 2 Xbox games for like $120 just with those coins that he got for free. Yeah, you're sure you don't want to sign up? Yeah, and that's one thing you can do. But the other thing you can do is, as shared earlier, you can in the Pi Brainstorm app. So circling back there real quick, you can there vote. Like, just vote. Just look at those. I'm not doing the voting regularly. I'm gonna be honest with that. Yeah. So it's like, do what I say, not what I do, in that kind of thing. But that's one thing. If you're not doing anything else, if you're not inviting people and so on, or if you, I don't know, maybe instead of like scrolling through some social media for 15 minutes because you're bored, scroll through the Brainstorm app and then look at what they have there. Web3 Academy is a Web3 learning platform to help users establish the knowledge and basic access to Web3 operations. Yeah, I mean, I would need more description because that seems like just some marketing text that doesn't say a lot. SIP network application, commercial app to serve pioneers, customers to buy and sell their products. There we already have. There's the Pi Chain Mall, so not sure we need more of those apps that are like just marketplaces. Yeah, Property Indonesia, hackathon participant. Yeah, so that sounds nice. So like if it's for properties, again, would require to read the rest. Yeah, Merry Meet, crypto community publishing mainly for parties offline of online. Okay. So either for organizing parties or so you can say, hey, I'm throwing a house party, join everyone, yeah, or to as a social media network. So definitely cool thing, yeah. DK Tunes, a music streaming platform on the Pi blockchain to take advantage of the decentralization. Don't see the use case here, to be honest, because for music streaming you would have to store the data, and storing data on the blockchain is something that is not done. So even if you have image NFTs, they are not stored on the blockchain. On the blockchain, it just stores that image is saved on that server, and then the image is saved on the server, because storing data on the blockchain, while by now it's cheaper, it's still very, very expensive. So the music streaming part here, where Pi could only be relevant for user authentication, that you say one user can only have one account, which for music streaming is irrelevant, or it could be for payment. Yeah, and then you would have a streaming service that you could pay with Pi for, but the issue there would be the music would all be in quotes cheap, so you wouldn't have any Eminem, Rihanna, or somebody like that on that platform, because if they are paid in Pi, depending on the value of Pi and so on, they wouldn't have any, or not even remotely, the amounts in fiat money that they would need to pay for the licenses to have the songs from others. Yeah, so yeah, not sure if I would vote for that, because again the use case seems to be missing. And it just, if you vote for something that doesn't make sense, you just encourage people to use the resources for something that will not help the project. Yeah. So basically, look for projects that where when you ask yourself, you can see you can see or think that, okay, if that would be there, other people that are not using Pi would be like, oh, I'm gonna buy Pi so I can use this. Yeah. So open source provided for all artists, photographers sell their art and photographs. Yeah. I mean, possible, but nothing special, because there are already platforms out there like Etsy and so on where you can sell your art and photographs in I don't know how many variations. Yeah, I don't speak Chinese or Mandarin or whatever it is, so I cannot say that. Pi encrypted merchant query platform based on Pi users to query information about stores that support Pi payment. Seems like a lot of effort to just have a directory that lists different stores that accept Pi payment. Yeah. So it's a usable app, for example, this one, Pi Fans, yeah, from the idea of it. So you would have one app where you can check, okay, which stores are there that accept Pi payment. So not just physical stores, but like online stores as well. But it's not a unique use case. It's not, nobody will, oh, I'm going to sign up for Pi Network and I'm going to buy Pi coins to use that app. Yeah. So India Pi Mall, just like Pi Chain Mall, but then for India specific. And then I'd rather have one international app like Pi Chain Mall that works for all countries. It's not a nice looking app. They have a lot of work to do to make it look better and whatnot. Yeah, so to improve the usability and the user experience. But then I'd rather have one international app than to have like an Indian mall and then a different mall and then this app and so on. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, then if you scroll further down, it will eventually load more entries. And as said, what you can definitely do is vote for those. That's definitely something. Yeah, you don't have to do it every day. You don't have to vote for all the entries. But again, maybe set yourself a reminder once per week, check Pi Brainstorm, and then you basically you will already be actively contributing just by thumbs up, thumbs down, and leaving some feedback. And who knows, maybe you find a project that you really, really like and that you feel like you can contribute to, then you can join that project and maybe help. Maybe you're a designer and you can help design graphics. Maybe you have some developer experience. maybe you are, I don't know, good with social media managing, and you're offering to manage the social media presences of a platform or a project, yeah, to gain more exposure for them or so. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Frosty says, I'm a real one. Yeah. Real one what? But yeah, I guess you mean it positive. So thank you very much. And yeah, with that, we've answered all the comments and we've added a lot of additional information. So I hope you were able to take something away from today. Yeah, as usual, then see you tomorrow with another episode of Comic Cares Live. They will have episode number 37. Time just flies. And until then, I hope you all have an amazing rest of the day or day ahead, depending on what time it is. And yeah, then see you all tomorrow or in one of my videos or on Discord or in my Twitch stream or on my Popular Investor stream. So